Well, time now to join Kate Jabot and the team for the last of our in-depth looks at British forces in Cyprus.
Hello and welcome for the final time to Cyprus. Today we're in Dhekelia in the Eastern Sovereign Base area. Go back 40 or 50 years and this was the most important military base on the island. It borders onto the Green Line, which separates the two communities in Cyprus and once boasted a multi-storey military hospital. This is Cesek Beach. It's been one of the social hubs of the garrison for years and is the nearest beach to the base. Behind me is Alexander Barracks, home to the Resident Infantry Battalion. In Dhekelia, the 2nd Battalion, the Royal Anglian Regiment. Having spent the past 12 months in a constant state of operational readiness, there's been no Afghanistan call-up for them. So, the soldiers and their families have thrown themselves into garrison life. Kath Brazier reports.
The annual Dhekelia Dash, just one of the many events where the poachers are well represented. Dhekelia Garrison's been home to 2 Royal Anglian for just over a year now.
And whilst there is a sense of frustration and disappointment at not being deployed, the battalion have done all they can to make the most of what the island has to offer.
It's got everything we want in the garrison. It's got the the ranges, the education facilities and medical facilities, all that's all on our doorstep, which we wouldn't necessarily have in the UK. So whilst there are some downsides, it's generally been a really good posting.
It has been a frustration, with not deploying, and it's very, very difficult to maintain a state of readiness, certainly on an immediacy notice to move, and then the following states for the remainder of the R1, R2 companies that are obviously in the battalion, and they have to maintain that readiness at all times.
The terrain, as ever, has provided ideal training ground. From the ranges at Dhekelia, where the battalion won the Best Team Award at this year's Cyprus Operational Shooting Competition, to the many other facilities on camp, which has allowed them to keep up an almost continuous inter-battalion competition. There's also been a number of formal events, including the celebration of Talavera Day, in memory of a battle that was won over 2 centuries ago in the time of the Duke of Wellington, and the Poachers' Fun Day, attended by their Colonel-in-Chief, Prince Richard, the Duke of Gloucester. On that day and elsewhere, the families have always been involved.
We come to quite a lot of the family days or any of the events that involve children and things like that.
And understandably, there's an element of relief that the battalion have stayed on island.
The guys are all really disappointed, obviously, because that's what they trained to do. But at the same time, that's life, isn't it? And it's good that we haven't had any casualties or fatalities. So that is the upside, isn't it, really?
The poachers will return to Cyprus duties at the end of this month. It may not be the year they'd imagined, but they've made the most of it. Kath Brazier, Forces News, Dhekelia.